My name is Anna, and today I'm going to talk about how you can get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube quickly. So I reached this milestone about a week ago, and it took me 3 months. And depending on who you ask, this might not seem that fast for some people or might seem really fast to some people. I think I could have actually got here even quicker if I had started doing everything from the first month, because I only started really heavily promoting and everything that I started doing from the second month onwards. So I wanted to share this information with anyone that is starting their YouTube channel or just started. The first thing that you should do, obviously, is start telling your family, your friends, and your acquaintances that you've started your YouTube channel. And it's always better to ask people individually, direct message them and ask them directly rather than making one social media post saying, I've started my YouTube, please subscribe. You'll have far better results if you ask individually. I'm going to tell you exactly which platforms that I currently use or used, because I don't necessarily use all of them anymore, but I'm just telling you these are your options. So these are all the platforms that I used. Here, I'm going to put it up on the screen. So when I look at my analytics, the top 3 platforms that drive traffic to my YouTube channel is obviously Instagram, Reddit, and Facebook. If I just quickly mention the other ones, so platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, those you can use with hashtags, even if you don't have any friends or followers on those platforms. Pinterest is a huge platform actually. And because I started with my website first, I use Pinterest to drive traffic to my website, and Pinterest is hugely effective. So if you're not on Pinterest, try to get on it. It's really good for things like DIY, cooking, fitness, this kind of content. You can drive traffic to your website or your YouTube channel. So I would definitely get on Pinterest. So TikTok, obviously that's still like one of the newer platforms, and it's much more easier to get discovered there or go viral on one of your TikToks. So what I like doing on all of these 4 platforms is I like to cut a short trailer out of my YouTube video, the part that I think that could be the most interesting. And then I obviously have a link to my YouTube channel, so hopefully traffic can be directed that way. Quora, that can actually drive traffic to your website or YouTube because it's a big platform. It's a question and answer website, and people ask questions about any topic in life, and whoever gives like a really good detailed answer, they get upvoted, and their comment is at the top of the thread. In your profile, you can link to your social media so people can find you that way. So Quora is a good one. I think everyone knows how to use Instagram to drive traffic to your YouTube, so I won't talk too much about that. Reddit, you will get the best results if you can find a subreddit that is related to the topic of your video. For example, I did my London donut video. I tried to go into the dessert subreddit, food, foodie, London subreddit, and just try to promote yourself on there. Not all of them let you just promote your own content without contributing to the group beforehand. You have to be like an active member in their community before you're allowed to post your own videos and things. So that can be sometimes a hit or miss, but there are certain subreddits where you can just share your video links and you won't get banned or anything like that, and that's encouraged. I'm going to put them on the screen now. But obviously with these ones, because it's allowed, everyone comes to dump their links and posts can get buried very quickly. But it's still like a platform where you can promote, and somebody could be like looking through the thread and can find your video that way. And Reddit is, one of my sometimes biggest drivers to my YouTube. So I would definitely promote on Reddit. So if your thumbnail and your title are enticing enough, people will see your post and they will want to click on it and come to your channel. But we'll talk more about that later. I'm going to link all of these groups down in the description so you can go find them. And out of all of them, I really recommend Get More Views YouTube, because their rules there is that you have to watch and give feedback to 2 other creators' videos before you can post your own. So you're guaranteed some views out of that, and feedback as well, which is really helpful. So Facebook, I don't promote my videos on my Facebook wall purely because I just haven't posted anything to Facebook for the past 6-7 years. I just never use it. I switched over to Instagram. But for the Facebook groups, they're really excellent for discovering other content creators. So I'm going to put it on the screen now, the Facebook groups that I've joined. And once you join one, Facebook recommends like a whole bunch of other groups. You can find loads of others as well. Obviously on these groups, only connect to channels whose content that you're actually interested in. For example, I'm never going to support a gaming channel or sports commentary channel because it's just not something I'm interested in. And actually make the effort to support everyone else's channels. And yes, this takes time and effort, but you put in the work and you will get rewarded. Back to promotion, obviously promote on the YouTube platform itself. So go to another YouTuber's channel who has a similar sub count to you and leave a nice comment on their video, and hopefully they will come and click on your profile and come to your channel too. One other tip that I can give, try to be the top comment of a big YouTuber's channel. And in order to do this, you need to have the bell notifications turned on. So as soon as they upload a new video, you go straight away, you watch the video, and then you try to come up with a funny, relatable, witty comment that people will upvote, and hopefully your comment will go to the top and everyone will see your comment. And that way you can drive traffic to your channel, obviously. But I managed to do this one time on like a BTS video. I'm gonna put a screenshot here. And it's at 10k likes, which is crazy. And I'm sure I have managed to get a few viewers from that comment itself. One other thing that I think you can consider at the beginning is to hide your subscriber count. I hid mine until I reached around 500, I think. The logic behind this is because even when you have a few really good videos up, but when people see that you have a low sub count, they're less inclined to hit subscribe because they just think you're not that popular, it must not be that great. And on the flip side, if they watch one video of a really big YouTuber's channel, they're more inclined to hit subscribe because they can see that it's a popular and well-liked channel. So I think consider doing that. I definitely don't think it hurts your growth at all. You can test it out to see if it has any benefit to you. Now, all this promotion and work that you're doing has no effect if your thumbnails and your titles are not enticing enough to get people to actually click on your video and watch. Obviously, make your own thumbnails rather than going with the one that YouTube chooses for you. I make mine using Canva and PixArt, and you should put text on the thumbnail itself so people can generally understand what it's going to be about without even reading the title. I like to keep my text all white because I think it just pops the most. Try to keep all of your thumbnails consistent, and I wouldn't overdo it with stuffing it with loads of pictures, texts, logos, animations. Just try to keep it simple but bold. YouTube themselves say putting your face in the thumbnail helps with clicks and views. Also, you have to remember that in the bottom right, you have like the time duration. So don't put any text here because it will get covered and nobody will be able to see it. So keep it to the left or at the top. So don't put anything right here. Now, choosing enticing titles, descriptions, and tags that will help you appear in Google or YouTube search is so important. And this is called search engine optimization, SEO. And when I look at my analytics, quite a lot of my views come from either YouTube or Google search, which is interesting. I am going to link this YouTuber's channel. Her name is Catherine Manning, and her whole channel is about how you can grow your YouTube. She explains in detail what SEO is and how to use it. She explains it much better than I will ever be able to, so I will link her channel and her video in the description. For SEO, I also use TubeBuddy, which is a free extension on your browser, but I have the paid version and I think it's worth it, definitely worth it, because it helps you choose keywords that you have an actual chance at ranking for. When you have a small channel like mine, trying to compete at a certain keyword with like the bigger channels, even if you tag all the correct ones, you're never going to get seen. So TubeBuddy definitely helps you improve and tweak with that. Honestly, I spend just as much time before the video goes live doing the title, the description, the tags. I spend just as much time doing that as I spend time editing. You just want to make sure that your video has the best possible chance at getting discovered and seen. You can always go back to old videos and edit all the metadata as well. So I've done this recently as well. I've gone back to older videos and just changed up the description, the tags. So now that we have all the technical stuff out the way, I'm going to talk about the creative part, your actual content. And this you should be prioritizing over everything else because content is king. So the things that I've talked about already, about promotion and things, that can help you get views, but that doesn't necessarily translate into subscribers. So what makes a viewer turn into a subscriber? What makes them want to subscribe? I've sorted this out into 4 categories from the lowest to highest level of importance. So number 1 is lowest, 4 is the highest. So number 1, short and concise videos. I know all small YouTubers want to get to the 4,000 hours watch time quickly, so they want to make longer videos to try and get there faster. But if you prioritize that over making good quality content, you're actually killing your channel. Because once a subscriber or a viewer watches 2 or 3 of your videos and they start feeling bored in every single one of them because you filled it with fluff just to get a longer video, they're just going to think, oh, this person's content is boring. I am not going to watch it again. I'm not going to subscribe. Everyone these days watches YouTube on their mobile. Is 70% of people watch YouTube on their mobile. So, and on mobile, people have far shorter retention times than on a desktop. Don't put a long channel intro into every single one of your videos because honestly, nobody cares. I know that people are really proud of their like custom-made intros and things. The first 10 seconds of your video that people watch are the most important in hooking them. If you have a 15-second intro of like your channel name, your banner, your logo, whatever it is, nobody cares. It's not necessary. Just cut that out and just get straight to the content. I know that people say that you should put call to action in your videos, and obviously you should, and call to action is telling people to like and subscribe. But I don't like it personally when people do it right at the beginning of their videos, because you haven't given them any content yet. Why should they like and subscribe when you haven't offered them anything? So I don't say it at the beginning of my videos. I say it usually at the end, maybe in the middle, but give the people what they came for first. Saying like and subscribe at the beginning just annoys people, I think. So for the second reason as to why people would want to subscribe to your channel is if you have really high quality videos, or if you have such high definition camera quality, audio, awesome like drone shots, the way that you film is so stylish and slick and your video is like a work of art, then yeah, people will subscribe to you. But obviously this is harder for most people to achieve because it requires expensive equipment, requires professional knowledge, skill. Keep that in mind that this is definitely not the most important factor in why people will subscribe to your channel. It's definitely not. For the third reason why people subscribe to your channel, you produce useful and valuable content. So channels that teach you something, how to, educational, these types of channels. I'm going to the final point. The most important and biggest reason why people subscribe to a channel is because they provide entertainment. Making entertaining videos should be everyone's #1 priority. I actually read a couple of days ago this blog post with this guy called Matt Geilen. He's like a YouTube strategist and he's like an expert on the YouTube algorithm, and he advises people what works and what doesn't. I can link it down in the description below. It's a really good, interesting read. He was saying how he very much discourages these utility channels, the channels that teach you something, from just being that. He very, very much discourages them from just being educational. He says you also have to have an entertainment factor with it, otherwise your channel's not going to see much growth. And I really agree with this. I think it's true. This is a factor that nobody really talks about in their how to get 1,000 subscriber video, but I think this is something that should be touched on. YouTube is show business. You're putting yourself out there for people to see you. So appearance matters. If you look unclean, messy, and you look like you just haven't put in any effort at all, that does not entice people to subscribe to your channel. Because I'm a violinist and I have to go on stage and perform. We would never go on stage not looking a certain way, you know? It's just out of respect for your audience, just show that you've made the effort to get kind of glammed up and ready. I honestly take like working out, doing my hair and makeup nice before a video just as seriously as like the editing or the SEO stuff. I really think it's important. With facial expressions also, like smile more. Some small YouTubers that I see and they're just really, they look moody and subdued and they're not really moving their mouth much, and it's just the whole energy of the video is low, and you have to kind of psych yourself up before you start recording, like drink a coffee, just get into that kind of high energy mode. You don't have to be grinning like an idiot through the whole video, but just don't look moody. That's really important. Also with the editing and how you stand your camera, if you just have a 10-minute video of you talking at the camera and you haven't done anything with the edits to make it slightly more interesting with text, with like animations, with like various zoom or sound effects, and you just have a 10-minute video of yourself talking, it's not going to be interesting no matter what the content is. So spend a lot of time in the editing process, make it as interesting as possible. Lastly, on like content matter, you have to stay on top of what's popular, what's about to be trending, what's on the news, what's happening in pop culture. You have to be completely aware of what's happening in the world around you. My Blackpink video that I did most recently, I got up so early to be ready to record the song as soon as it dropped, and I was about the second person to do the cover, I think, by the time I uploaded. And so that means it rewarded me with views, and now it has the most views on my channel because I ranked in search because I was like the second person to do it. So you have to be on top of trends and prepared to be really fast with new releases coming. I mean, gaming channels do this. When big new makeup line drops, people do this. So you just have to be completely aware. Just final bits of advice. Always record and edit your videos with the most critical eye and try to view it from like a third person perspective. I always ask myself, is this boring? Is there any part of this video where I feel like I'm dropping off? How can I keep them engaged? So that should be your #1 priority at all times. Consistency is key. I've been uploading twice a week, but always think quality over quantity. When people put out 5 videos a week and it's just mediocre, average content, you actually risk losing subscribers because people will be like, this is really annoying. They upload so much and it's not even good. So really quality over quantity. And like I keep reiterating, you should be focusing on the content and how to make it better and more entertaining, more valuable, rather than worrying about equipment or your intro or your channel art, that kind of stuff. That stuff comes afterwards. I'm going to link everything that I've mentioned, like about the promotion side, all of that. I'm going to link it in the description, so check it out. So thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.